Open letters to the morons, paint chips, prison diaries, and the gospel of the grift. Dear Paint Chip, there are few people on this earth who can speak with bloated confidence of a man whose legal credentials were buried under layers of sanctions, criminal charges, and enough disciplinary records to wallpapers Raker's Island. And yet there you are. Your fat ass is screaming into a webcam with all the grace of a drunk wedding DJ, slurring out legal terms you once heard in a courtroom before they kicked your fat ass out and padlocked your briefcase shut. Let's start with the basics. You're not a lawyer. Not in any meaningful sense. You're a former attorney whose law license was tossed into the disciplinary dumpster after your Facebook sock puppet scheme blew up. You were arrested for trying to smuggle concrete into China in place of copper. It blew up in your face, sent you straight to federal prison, and that's a place you should know now, reference with a wistful energy of a man who just wants to find his old bunkmate Bubba and rehash the glory days of sort of solitary confinement. Every time you speak, you wrap your mouth all around another fantasy. I'm the victim. I was railroaded. It's a conspiracy. No, Dick. It was identity theft, fraud, documented misconduct, stealing, almost caused international crisis. And the old conspiracy is the one you keep trying to sell on YouTube like it's a clearance item at a garage sale hosted by a cult. You don't get targeted for truth. You get caught lying very badly. And now you're trying to cosplay as legal scholar from the basement of irrelevance. You have the gall to accuse Jeremy of forum shopping, perjury, tax evasion, all while failing to show a single coherent legal argument that doesn't rely on Reddit posts, vibes, and emotionally unstable TikToks. You cite non-existent laws, you quote filings you clearly haven't read, and you finish with a smug expression as if the combination of your conviction record and revenge brawn makes you exempt from justice. Let's pause on that one. Actually, you made revenge prawn and were booted from YouTube permanently. And your defense is what exactly? They're public figures. So was Nixon, and that didn't stop the court from slapping his team down like a cheap meat at a deli counter. What you did was textbook malicious intent. And now that those walls are closing in, you're frantically trying to reframe it as journalism. It's not journalism. It's not whistleblowing. It's a revenge campaign. And you were dumb enough to do it all on YouTube and in writing. And that when that lawsuit came, oh, that was a big shocker. You tried to call it a slap suit while actively broadcasting defamatory garbage in real time. Imagine standing in a fire, pouring gasoline on your head and shouting that you're a victim of arson. That's you, Paint Chip. That's your entire legal strategy in this. And let's not forget your recent greatest hits, saying that you might sue the court for hurting your feelings, calling a federal magistrate biased because he wouldn't let you skip out on those hearings. Filing motions filled with unhinged footings like a man hallucinating inside a Westlaw subscription he hasn't paid for in a decade. You are, by every measure, a failed character from a rejected Better Call Saul spinoff, only with less charisma, worse lighting, a larger ass, and far more screenshots. You've latched onto the fleas not because you believe in their cause, but because it's the only group of dysfunctional, idiot, delusionists gullible enough to let you pretend that you're still someone of consequence. You're not a threat, Paint Chip. You're a warning. And if you think that this is over, oh, just you wait. It's about to get quite a bit more brutal in here. Yours, in devastating clarity, Shizzy, Wiznut, master of the short bus that you jumped on, the man that will enjoy watching you completely flail around like a fat fish out of water, scrambling for any sort of relevancy that he could possibly find that will never come to him as he lives in his mommy's basement, screaming and crying at the very top of his lungs about how he's not allowed to have his freedom of speech anymore, how YouTube has removed him from the platform, the man who just cannot handle himself in any sort of coherent social situation, let alone wanting to ask for forgiveness from people that you've harmed. But it's not true, is it now? None of it is true. None of it is true about you. It's all a facade. I know that you're hurting, Paint Chip. It would be best if you separated from this situation and found maybe something that was a little more relevant to your style and character. Go find a warm bed to bunk up with your buddy Bubba, if that's what you really need to feel fulfillment. You're a sad state of affairs, sir. And I do sincerely wish you the best of luck in your life, and I hope that you find meaning in Bubba's warm embrace. Because you keep on the path that you're going, it won't be long before you're back there, holding hands, gently enjoying warm caresses, and feeling all of the enjoyment that you once enjoyed so much in that nice federal lockup. Enjoy yourself, Bubba. Enjoy yourself well.
It is about time. Let's break this mother down.